In 1982, the synth-pop duo Yazoo, known in the US as simply Yaz, released one of the most upbeat and kind of wildest albums of the early 80s. Its name? Upstairs at Eric's. Now, if you haven't heard of Yaz, they were an English synth-pop duo formed in 1981 by Alison Moyet on vocals and Vince Clarke on keys. Clarke himself being a former member of the group Depeche Mode. Upstairs at Eric's was released by Mute Records. It was Yazoo's debut album, and it was produced by the band and E.C. Radcliffe, or Eric Charles Radcliffe, along with Daniel Miller, Mute Record label's boss, assisting on some tracks as well. In fact, the album Upstairs at Eric's was named after E.C. Radcliffe's Blackwing Studios, where this album was recorded. Now, the album gave the world massive hits like Don't Go, Situation, and Only You. But towards the middle of this synth-pop masterpiece, there sits a song that turns the vibe from upbeat and energetic to eerie and a little bit disturbing. It's nearly 5 minutes of looping, distressed voices and pulsing synth.
You can stop, you can see the difference. Dragons, the policeman.
The title of the song, I before E except after C. So why would a synth pop band name what is an experimental and pretty unsettling track after a spelling rule that many of us learned in elementary school? You know, what's the mystery behind it? And what are those eerie voices even saying? Well, let's break it down a bit. First, let's talk about the title itself. I before E except after C is a mnemonic device that tons and tons of us were taught in grade school to help us with English spelling. I mean, the problem is obvious, though, and has been pointed out time and time again. It's a flawed system. It just is. There are so many exceptions to this rule that it's constantly broken by everyday words. You know, words like weird, seas, foreign, just to name a few. I don't know, maybe Yazoo was well aware of the absurdity of this rule and wanted to use it as an absurd title for a creepy track, because the song certainly is not a spelling lesson. So what are those looping, mysterious voices actually saying? Interestingly enough, if you look at the liner notes on the CD, there are no lyrics for the song I before E except after C, just the title. Of course, they're easy enough to look up nowadays on the internet. I mean, what is it? I mean, everything is. The lyrics loop endlessly repeating phrases such as,
They would stop because there will always be, because there,
followed by a mysterious comparison.
inside. You can feel the outside, you can see the difference. Inside, stop, inside.
Creepy. Now there's an even deeper angle to this track. Vince Clarke has famously stated that the purpose behind all of those looping and repeating phrases was to mimic the psychological state of dementia. Now the thought of dementia alone is a bit horrifying, and the song really captures its essence. The way the afflicted's mind gets stuck on certain phrases, repeating them over and over again in a loop. This is what Clarke succeeded in portraying sonically. The song also features snippets of Eric Radcliffe's mom, along with Alison Moyet, reading out of an instruction manual for a piece of studio equipment.
Inside, stop, inside. Different.
Pretty strange, but also a super creative use of an instruction manual. I mean, most of us just throw the things away, just plug it in, figure it out. Those parts of the song sound like a demented, malfunctioning robot, and it adds a lot to the song's creepy vibe. Now, I will say that this song will probably be skipped by the casual listener looking for 80s synth pop. But for music nerds or anybody interested in all around just weird music, it's a must listen. I'll be sure to link it in the description. And let me know what you think in the comments. Is this song an experimental masterpiece, or is it the ultimate album skip? And as always, thank you for tuning in to Still Havens. I hope this video was, well, received. I wouldn't want you to feel deceived and hit the ceiling. All right, that's enough. So, I don't know. Maybe Yaz was well aware of the absurdity of this rule and wanted to use the title as an absurd title.